Hey, what's going on, guys? Back. I know it's been a minute, but I'm back today to kind of show you what I've been working on and give you a little bit of update of what's been going on, what I've been doing lately, what I've been doing while I've been away from the channel. But I've been playing a lot of games, experimenting, having a lot of fun. I haven't been filming really anything, been busy, but I've still been able to keep the hobby up and keep playing some games. I've been playing, Oathmark, Frostgrave, a lot of Rangers of Shadowdeep. That's been one of my main games. A little bit of Trench Crusade here and there. That's kind of slowed down though. Been playing some Mordheim. What else? Frostgrave. I don't know if I mentioned that. And then I've also been playing this new game that I've picked up, and I've actually been playing. It's my main game right now. I've been playing a lot of it lately, especially with the wife and everything. She loves it. It's this game, Pillage, by Guillaume Rousselot. I think I translate to William Rousselot. It's produced by Victrix. It's Ransack the Middle Ages. It's a great game. It's set in, the Dark Ages, Vikings, Saxons, your Normans. This is the rule book. Produced by Victrix. Great set of rules. If you don't know what it is, I would go check out Martin over at Seventh Son. He does a lot of great videos on it, has a lot of great battle reports. Barefoot Miniatures has a lot of good videos and battle reports, and then Gorilla Miniatures does like a little overview of the rules too. So if you're looking to see what the game is about, go check those guys out. I wouldn't be the best to explain it here, so I'm not gonna try. But with that, I've been playing, I've painted up the Viking War. I bought the Victrix Viking Warband with this. I have another warband that I painted up to use. But it's my first historical game, so those are the only two really warbands I have, and I've got a lot of fantasy miniatures, and so I really wanted to make some rules for some of my fantasy miniatures. So that's what we got here today. I made just a little quick couple page. I know this is terrible cutting and printing. Little rule book, not little rule book, but a little supplement to add some like fantasy elements to Pillage. So here it is, an unofficial supplement. All these pictures are taken by me. I'll have this somewhere linked below. You can go download it, check it out yourself. I'm welcome to any kind of feedback. It would be, it would truly be, really helpful and appreciated. But I didn't add much. I just added a couple special traits to different races like dwarves and elves, experimenting with some like goblin rules, some undead rules, stuff like that. So I didn't add much. I wanted to keep it as true to the original, Pillage rule set as possible. So keeping it simple, keeping it pretty light, but thematic, So one thing I added, I thought any fantasy game really thrives with and it really distinguishes it is a spell casting system. So I came up with a spell casting system. It's fairly simple. You can go check it out, but basically your casters can come level 1 to 3. You pay more for each level. And each level gives them a caster dice. So level 1 has 1 caster dice, a level 2, 2, and 3, 3, right? And to cast a spell, you need to roll whatever spell you have. I have a list of spells here. So say your casting value, you need a 5 up. So you have to roll a 5 up on one of your caster dice. So if you're level 3, you can choose to assign all your dice to one spell. Roll 3 dice, taking the highest result to cast that spell. So the more dice you roll, basically, the better chance you have. But you only can, each turn you can only cast, you can only use your spell dice, right? So each spellcaster can take 3 spells, and you can attempt to cast, so if you're level 3, you can attempt to cast all 3, but only rolling 1 dice for each, if that makes sense. Or you can choose to cast 1 or 2, maybe at a higher chance, right? I explain it a little better here. I give an example. So go check it out. If it doesn't make sense, let me know. I'll try to explain it better. But yeah, so I added that, some quick spells, some quick characters, some special talents for the chieftains, So one of the special characters I made, for instance, I tried to keep it, again, simple. The Dwarf Mountain Guard. It's just the Huskar rules from the core rulebook, but with the Dwarven special rules, which I'll get into that later, and then he's got 2 wounds instead of 1. And so I also priced him a little more expensive, but we'll get into what the dwarves have too. I go into the dwarf, or into the races I added. So for the human factions, I figured all you would need is just whatever pillage human faction you wanted to play, and then I added just some spellcaster costs for the humans. So for the dwarves, right, here's the dwarves. I did a little picture of my dwarves. So for the dwarf special rule, they just receive, or they never take any penalties to their defense. They never take any negative modifiers to their defense rolls, because their armor is just really good, or they're really good with their shields, whatever it may be. I think that's thematic for dwarves. They're sturdy, hardy. They're supposed to stick around a little longer. So I play tested giving them just +1 defense, but that was just too good, I think. So I think this is a nice little medium. They also get -1 movement. So an unarmored dwarf is starting movement at 7, and a full armor, would only be moving 5 inches. And then they ignore rocky, difficult terrain. So that's, again, between you and your opponent to decide what rocky, difficult terrain is. And then I price some different stuff, equipment, all that. So that's the dwarves. I won't get into everything. If you want to check it out, we have the elves have some special rules. Undead, I give them some special rules. But that's just, the dwarves were just an example of kind of the simplicity I tried to add into these to give them a little bit of flavor. I also added some creatures, so you can have some random encounters, kind of like in Frostgrave, where maybe a couple skeletons show up, or a troll, or a giant, And then I did a little AI decision tree here. Again, this rulebook, it might have a lot of errors, gameplay errors. It's basically just kind of like a guidelines to kind of help you with this. You might have to, figure out a little bit on your own, like I'll probably have to do too. But yeah, so a little AI decision tree for some creatures, and then I made some creature stats here, for a giant, some creature rules and stats, troll, dire wolves, ogres, stuff like that, spiders, skeletons. And then lastly, I made up 2 pretty simple scenarios. One is just a treasure hunt, so there's a bunch of treasure and loot on the board, and you and your opponent are fighting over it pretty much in an old ruined village or city, whatever you want it to be. And again, you could play just the regular pillage scenarios with these armies, these models too. Second scenario is giant hunt. It's just a scenario where 2 warbands have been taking a bounty to go kill a giant that's been causing trouble, and so there's a bunch of rules in here for that. This one was pretty fun playtesting. So I thought it was fun. I wanted to do a scenario where you're hunting a monster. So yeah. And then I go into the final things, where I say just hey, any feedback is welcome. Thanks for checking it out. And again, thank you to Guillaume Russell for making the base rules for this game. I think he's working on a fantasy version himself. So I'm not going to really add any more to this, because I'm waiting to see what he adds, what he does, him and his crew. I'm excited to see that, because I think Pillage is just such a great game for a fantasy setting. And so I just wanted a little something extra. You could even just use your fantasy miniatures without any special rules, right? It'll work just as fine. But I wanted to add just a little extra for some flavor. And so I've been having fun playtesting this. I'm going to have fun also playing just some more Pillage with my Vikings and my Saxons and stuff like that. So, but yeah, if you're interested in checking this out, I'll try to link it below somewhere on a Google Drive, or maybe link it somehow. I'll figure it out. If you want to check it out, please do let me know if you have any suggestions, any feedback, or how you liked it. Again, I printed this on... I printed this small. It's supposed to print on a regular size piece of paper. I printed 2 pages on 1 page, so it looks small, but it's not really that small. But yeah, so thanks for watching. I'm gonna try and get a battle report of this out here soon. I've actually filmed it. It goes with the dwarves and actually goblins. I'm play testing some goblin rules. I don't have a goblin list in here, but I'm trying some things out to kind of hammer down some rules for maybe some goblins. I have some of the ideas like in here. Like I have some ideas for Orc and Goblin special rules that you can look at maybe and take inspiration from or not, whatever you want to do. But so yeah, that battle report, it's going to be just 250 points of dwarves versus goblins. We're going to see how it goes. I made up a little special scenario for it, but hopefully you enjoy that. But yeah, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you want. And yeah, we'll see you next time.